Good morning, everyone. Welcome to ANZ News. It's the end of the week, Friday the 24th of September. Today we're talking gold miners. They're to be hit in a $3.5 trillion spending package. Capitol Hill Democrats are taking aim at US-based mining projects with an 8% royalty fee on existing mines and a 4% on new mines. The royalties are on precious metals as well as base metals such as copper and lithium. This added drag on mining could or would act as headwind to already struggling metal supplies. Mining executives have already hit back, arguing that Biden's goal of having 35% of generating of the US electricity grid from solar is all but impossible without investing in new mines. For those seeking to invest the millions of sunk costs into getting a new mine online, the mere announcement of additional taxes is likely to give executive boards reason to pause. Both in the US and globally, platinum group metals have been in a decade-long supply drawdown. With spot prices on life support, silver production has been in structural decline for the last 5 years, leaving almost no pure play silver explorers or miners solvent. The pipeline for increasing silver production is thin at best and anemic at worst. But as they say, the cure for low prices is low prices. For less profitable mines that are already in production, these taxes may be the straw which breaks the camel's back, leading to further reduced supply. Adding new tax arrangements on projects that companies have already spent close to a decade getting approvals for, and building out what it is you would expect from failed states that see foreign miners as an easy target. They may reap a short-term windfall in the short term, but who would want to invest in new projects in that kind of jurisdiction? If these changes go ahead, that would be the most substantial change to the law that has governed US mining since 1872. The 1872 law was designed to incentivize exploration and development of more than 350 million acres in the western United States. Perhaps predictably, miners advocate for the maintenance of the status quo. Perhaps even more predictably, environmentalists argue that miners should pay more in royalties for the privilege of extracting the minerals from taxpayer-owned land. Realistically, metals, not just the precious variety, are an essential component in almost every aspect of our life. There's a reason why economists refer to Dr. Copper as a barometer of the economy's overall health. Rising input costs due to reducing supply are only going to accelerate already problematic inflation prints. Amidst a global shift towards electrification, base and precious metals are critical. Rich Nolan, head of the National Mining Association, has argued along these same lines, making the point that metals and mining need to be incentivized and not stalled. The new taxes are predicted to raise $2 billion over 10 years for the US government. One wonders what the net effect would be if they do go ahead, given that the government is one of the major purchasers of metals for their infrastructure. If new taxes serve to drive up prices on the very commodities they are buying, it would be at best robbing Peter to pay Paul. Consumers paying more taxes, going further into debt and facing increased costs on everyday consumption may well be some of the not-so-happy byproducts of government intervention. While we don't know what will ultimately be included in the aptly named $3.5 trillion spending bill, it does highlight some of the challenges that precious metals miners face. As a general rule of thumb, precious metal miners are considered to be an effective way of leveraging a metal position. A small change in the spot price can improve profit margins significantly, but a move in the opposite direction can render a producer insolvent. These proposed changes are a good example as to why people often simply refer to holding the metal itself. As successful as miners can be, they're subject to poor management, new taxes, nationalisation of mines by failed state governments desperate for short-term revenue, and the list goes on. In precious metals, individuals have the only true independent form of wealth with no counterparty risk of any description at all. And that's news for this week, everyone. We hope you enjoy that insight into what's happening over in the US with gold miners and the proposed tax/royalty fee. Remember, jump over to anzbullion.com.au for all things physical, gold, silver and platinum, anzwealth.com.au for all things cryptocurrency, and goldsilverstandard.com for our own cryptocurrency built and backed by real gold and silver. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. We'll catch you next week for more news.